All right. Hello. I'm definitely gonna sound different because I'm using the microphone built into my dang laptop because I forgot to bring some kind of microphone to plug in, so I'm not sure how it's gonna sound. I thought, you know what? I'm somewhere else, so I thought, why don't I just do something a little different today? And I don't want to lose my spot because this is where I want to start, but whatever. I'm not sure when this was posted. If you are a COD player, you know exactly what I'm even looking at. So, I've been a COD player for a long time, a very long time. I've played every single one, probably except, not probably, I didn't. COD 4. If you go back through my older videos, you'll see that COD 4, that was my first time playing it. Um, Whenever Microsoft, I guess, fixed the servers for a little bit. Whatever was going on there, I'm not even sure if they're still fixed. But like I said, I'm a long-time player here, and you, this kind of directed at me a little bit. I guess I haven't played MW3 that much, but here it is. Here it is. This is my small, humble, I don't know, humble opinion on the matter. I'm not sure what people are going to think. Whatever. I don't care. But anyways, it seems that it seems that when they posted this to me, it seems that the COD developers, they had it out for us, the COD community, and for the COD haters, and the ones that like to complain that their matches are too sweaty or that their lobbies are filled with tryhards. The COD developers, they just basically told us that we suck at their game, and right, that's what it sounds like to me. This right here, somebody decided to ask, have you ever tested removing skill as a consideration for matchmaking? Basically they say they run tests, and yeah. So what? Hey, you little, I don't know, you little toenail biters. Guess what? We've taken that matchmaking that we complain about so often. We periodically turn that stuff off, and we also turn it back on. So obviously, it's a skill issue on your part, right? That's what I feel like they're telling us, that we suck at the game, and that it's our skill that's the issue. That's what I feel like they're telling us right here without actually saying it. And honestly, I feel like it is true. I feel like they're right. But let me tell you why. When I was first reading this post and what they said, well, first I heard about it, of course. Then I came and read it. Um, I guess I was offended. I mean, I wasn't like, oh my god, whatever, kind of whatever. I just wasn't. I was a little offended. I was kind of mad about it. Wanted, not wanted. I blamed this company, and I was like, obviously they just can't admit that they can't fix their issue. But I don't think that's it. So these developers have given us the info on how they base matchmaking for the other team, and the teammates that you get. The number one. Hold on. Let me find it here. I just remember the first. I gotta go find and read what the other ones are. Here it is. And below they go a little bit more detail, but whatever. Number one big thing here. It says connection. Ping is king, is what they say. Heavily weighted factor in determining your matches. So sometimes, honestly, if you feel like you always get a bad team, you're like, oh gosh, my team always sucks, so they never do anything. Probably true. They just they just have some good internet, but no skills to go with that good ping. And then number two here, it's time to find a match, time to match, whatever, which is a good thing. They don't want they don't want you to wait. You, you know, anybody that's watching this, has played. Let me think. They had matchmaking problems, honestly, for a while there. You had you had to sit there and wait for a match. It was so broken. It was broken. So I'm this must be like some kind of new priority or something, because this has been an issue. This was not anymore because I played it lately. This has been an issue, had been an issue for the past like 3 years, and then three has several inputs. You got like playlist diversity, recent maps and modes, and skill performance, input device platform, uh, and voice chat and all this stuff. Which, this one, the recent maps and modes, kind of a weird thing here for determining factor, I guess. I don't know. And then not until, but not it's not until like one of the last things where they say finally the skill of the player comes in. Does it even say it? Right here it is, but does it even say it? Oh, here it is. Um, I don't know. I read something else, I think. I just had this pulled up because this is probably what a lot of people read. Yeah, this isn't even one of the top things of how a match is determined. And they also said that, let's see if they say it right here. I mean, they kind of do, the opportunity to have an impact in every match. Basically, they went and said that your skill based matchmaking is going to change match to match, which, since I've been, the past however long I've been playing, it honestly feels true, because it changes depending on, if you end up going like 2-31 or drop a nuke, whatever. I've noticed the change and difference. There. Now, I never like to side with any kind of company, but I honestly think they're doing what they can, even though COD has had many issues over the past, like, what, 5, heck, even probably 6 years. Now, stay with me here. Stay with me. The issue with Call of Duty is not the company, which is kind of weird for me to say that, because of how long I've complained about them myself. To me, well, okay, I've always said this. I've said this since like Cold War. The integration of Cold War and Modern Warfare 19 Warzone. The issue is not the company, it's the streamers. Okay? Now, if nobody noticed this or not, there was a significant change in competitive gaming during COVID. You're probably thinking, what does COVID have anything to do with this? COVID hit in 2019, of course, 2020 for some other people for the first time, depending on where they live. Like where I live, I don't think our first case appeared till 2020. And so, what happened? We got a lockdown, which led to a lot of things shutting down, people losing their jobs, kids weren't in school. So, the only thing left in today's society that's very, very popular and can keep people's attention span was gaming. Nobody's going outside. Um, so numbers and views for streamers and stuff started to skyrocket. I mean, they got a lot of views, and purchases for consoles higher than ever. Definitely higher than ever. It took me a year, like literally one full year after the new consoles released, to get a hold of an Xbox Series X. I mean, do you guys remember how hard it was to get a hold of a new console? I mean, it was just, there was a lack of consoles because everybody was locked down, and they so there's a purchasing of new consoles. Maybe new gamers were purchasing consoles. They got a hold of them. Of course, there was the scammers too that bought like hundreds of them and then resold them for like double the price. People of course were told to stay inside, keep your space. So there's a lot of people that were scared to get the new virus. that we apparently knew nothing of. So many people started to game, or the gamers definitely enjoyed it, including me. It's great. It was great for a little bit. Um, so this is how COVID relates to streamers changing competitive gaming forever and ever. It's just a little correlation that my brain made there, and it's just the truth. Okay, so because everybody that was into gaming during COVID was either watching their favorite streamer, or of course, probably gaming, or probably both. Probably watching their streamer while playing the game that the streamer was playing. Who knows? They might have been stream sniping, or they might have just wanted to mimic them. But for a while now, people have taken strong interest in watching someone that is good at the game, like extremely good, someone that gets like a nuke or something with every gun, or I don't know, drops 50 kills in a Fortnite game, or I don't know, someone that has some crazy Rocket League mechanics. You've seen those Rocket League live TikToks where they're flying around and stuff. Of course, what are you gonna do when you watch someone you look up to, or you think that they're doing what they're doing is cool, or you think they're cool. You look up to them. You like their gameplay. You're gonna copy what they do. You're gonna copy what they do because you probably want that in your kid. You want to be able to do that. It's something that a lot of gamers. It's what a lot of people have done now. Nobody has like their own. Nobody has like their own special thing anymore. Everybody. Nobody puts their own special ability into their game. And honestly, now I've watched videos over things on, I'm confused, or maybe I'm confused, I'm lost. Maybe I need a little help at trying to do better in a game, as in like Clash of Clans or something. I need to know, I need to look up a video and know what units to train in order to have the best attack strategy, something like that. But how do you think these great musicians, artists, athletes, whatever, leaders, anything you can think of, how they come along. They had someone they probably looked up to. Sometimes there's greats out there that just did it on their own, which is what I heavily try to do. I don't think I'll ever be totally great at something where like I said, I don't watch people to try and improve my skill. I like to have the freedom of doing my own thing. I like to have the freedom of figuring it out on my own. That is what um, I find fun in a game. I like getting over learning curves, difficult learning curves on my own without looking something up. That's what's fun to me. Sometimes, of course, I might have done it in the past. Actually, one thing I did, I remember, I used to watch Siege videos, Rainbow Six Siege, tips and tricks. So, there's that. But anyways, you have these people. They're copying their streamers that play these streamers. They're copying them and they play at this professional or high level of gameplay, and it's causing them. It's causing the average skill for a player to increase every year, every month, every day, whatever. That's kind of why games like COD and even Fortnite are just kind of dying away slowly. Of course, COD's more dying way more at a faster pace than Fortnite. But we all know that Fortnite hasn't been as big since Chapter 1, other than when they released the OG season. We can say other seasons were good, but about the only ones that were good was this one this recent one because they brought in the most players ever for a high daily count, I think, or something like that in Chapter 1. And also probably when the Spider-Man stuff was out because, that was COVID. So, hold on. Let me tell you like this story. I don't think I'll ever forget this. It's almost like my PTSD. I think that's what it's called. Maybe. Anyways, it's 2020. Lockdown, COVID. I was playing with the squad with my friends on Rebirth, and I was hitting a rotate so I could get a better angle at getting to the next circle first. I didn't want to get choked up in the storm. I probably didn't have a gas mask or something. I don't know, whatever. And this was the first time I think I ever in my life on a virtual reality machine where you cannot feel physical actions. I actually think I felt it. That's a little much. While I was running along a building, just the side of a long building, I could explain it to people that played a lot of Rebirth, but just the one in the middle. I was running along the side, and there's this squad that turns the corner, and I had no chance. I mean, it was like something out of a movie or something, I guess, because they were synced. I'm pretty sure I watched all four of them slide, cancel, bunny hop, and then they sprayed me. I was just kind of like, this was like one of the first times I remember experiencing this, and I was just kind of like, well, I was definitely mad. I was so mad, but I was kind of like, well, they play as a team, There's nothing I could do. It seems like they're all pretty good. Nothing I could have done. But soon after that, I felt like every other game felt like it was the same. It just felt like everyone was like a bloodthirsty pack of wolves that would, for no absolute reason, separate in order to get a win. Now, if it's like ranked or something, and it's like a higher ranking, like diamond or something, I get it. But honestly, even back then in ranked, I never experienced that until around, that time of COVID. Of course, I never experienced that in Siege. I don't think you'll ever experience that in Siege, I hope. Sometimes you get like a little rush or something, just sometimes. As far as I can remember, I just don't remember people playing like that. But now, like I said, what I'll call it is packing, because they stay together. I experience that all the time, and of course, I kind of experience this on pretty well. Any game that requires competitiveness, big games that I can think of, kind of big, I guess. That just comes to mind is like Call of Duty, of course, what we're talking about, Halo, Fortnite. Uh, that's about all that comes to mind right now. But it's something that's in every single match almost now. And honestly, this is why I do defend the COD developers, because they cannot control how good the average player is. They cannot control how good they are, no matter how they do their matchmaking. You know, unless you want to take like a solid 5 to 10 minutes, which we were experiencing there for a little bit. Nobody was happy about that to load into a game. Nobody wants to take 5+ minutes to load into a game or get in lobbies. You know, and also you also don't, be honest, like you want there to be a little competition. You don't want it to be what we have now, but you also don't want to drop like freaking 3 nukes 3 times over, right? I don't know. It's just, there's nothing they can do about it, because your average gamers isn't they're no longer the norm average of what we considered average. Your average gamer is probably now on like pro level from like a decade ago. Honestly, I, I I'm I think I'm a consistent champ one player in Rocket League. Of course, I don't play the game often, but I cannot even hardly compete in Diamond now. Like I am like struggling to keep Diamond 2. There's 4 divisions in all those things. I'm struggling to keep Diamond 2. Of course, when it comes to threes, it's Diamond 1. But it's because the base skill of a player for each rank is changing. So, it's so often changing, and it is. It's because the streamers are having a major effect on how good the normal player should be, and competitive games are no longer at a normal level. That's why you got to try every match. You're you got to try every match you're in, and you got to practice. Isn't that crazy? If you like any kind of competitive game now, in order to have some kind of fun, you have to practice and take time out of your day to practice instead of going logging in and just playing the game. I mean, it makes you feel the need to practice, but of course, in reality, all it's going to do, you're going to get better. You're not going to feel like you're getting better though, because everybody's always going to be on the same level. Um, so this ends up for a lot of people ending up taking breaks, or quit Fortnite or quit Call of Duty or something, because after you just play a few matches, you end up having to freaking use all your brain power and focus and try and sweat. And, it's mentally draining. And if somebody's saying that, sometimes, of course, you're going to get in matches where you just mop that lobby and you're like, that felt good. That felt really good. But if there's somebody playing Call of Duty nowadays, do not let them lie to you that they just mop their lobbies, okay? Do not let them say that they sweep up their lobbies every single game, because they definitely don't. Okay, they COD definitely has it's definitely mentally draining, and honestly, I think that's why single player games have become a very popular thing in the last 2 years. Of course, Elden Ring was very, very popular. Um, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Elden Ring is a reason for making single player games, popular, because it wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, it had a big influence on single player gaming, because single player gaming was pretty big back like a decade ago, a decade and a couple years, whatever. Skyrim, stuff like that, Red Dead 1, you know, games like Elden Ring, and of course now Power World and God of War. They're all taking they're taking large amounts of players, because while these games can and will cause frustration, these single player games, it's not as mentally draining as trying to play a casual match of COD. you know, it's better to me. It is better to sit and try and beat an Elden Ring boss. I would rather die 45 times on Elden Ring to a boss than continuously getting spawn killed, or just killed over and over a lot. Negative KD and all that. I'd rather that happen, because when it comes to something like that in COD, that's happening consistently. Um, it just leaves you with no interest, because there's no satisfaction in continuously performing poor or just losing. And you're probably thinking, well, how are you going to have such a bad KD, or how are you going to have such a bad KD, or how are you going to have get spawn killed all the time if you're skill based matchmaking? Well, it just depends what level you're on, I guess. um, Because if you're on a higher level, it's going to happen to you a few times. To me, honestly, everything that I've said, it just makes sense, and it makes sense that the well, stutter. It makes sense that the developers they haven't changed anything. You know, they've changed it here and there, like they announced down here in their questions and stuff. Of course, though, I cannot just sit here and defend them all. I can't. I can't defend them completely because, yeah, come on, it's Activision we're talking about here. We know this. We know these people. I don't remember where I seen it, but the developers said that they don't want such a great amount of skill gap in the game because they don't want a player feeling like they don't have any outcome. Which that makes sense. They don't want to lose any more players than they already have. They got this big declining rate of players, but this is what leads to competitiveness of every single match, and a low daily player count. Just think about this. Think about this. It is 2012. Hopefully you aren't like a baby then, but who knows? You might be. It is 2012. You are back. You were back on Black Ops 2. You're sniping. You got your ballista in hand, having all fun with the world, and then someone just lasers you. I mean, they laser you so fast. You had to think twice if it was legit or not. So you're like, oh no, he's a hacker. No way. So so what's the response to that? You got to prove to this man or woman who is the dominant one. You have to prove you are the best. You have to show them how it's done. And so that's one of the small problems with skill-based matchmaking right there, because everyone every match wants to prove they're the best. Nobody's goofing off. We had like the Vanoss gang back in 2012. You had some people randomly goofing off. You had FaZe trick shotting all over the place. So you had people slacking. There was people kind of slacking. And this might sound crazy, but I honestly felt like there was some sort of level of respect a lot of the times. I mean, of course, until it came to extreme competitiveness, and it's just because mostly everyone is close in skill. That's why all these matches are just straight up so competitive. Everybody wants to be the best. Now in these matches, it's a freaking life or death situation for a casual COD. For a casual COD match to win. But personally, I could care less if I lost to like a domination match, freaking 200. I mean, I'd cap the flags a little here and there, just to prolong the game. I mean, okay, listen. If you don't think that I don't care about a win, like if you think I'm like, there's no way this guy doesn't care about winning, just listen to this. This is the only one I can think of because I had a crazy amount of time in the game. I had a 0.3 win-loss ratio. A dang 0.3. I had a solid 70 days played into Modern Warfare 2019. A solid 80 to 90% of that was multiplayer, not Warzone, multiplayer. Only about 10 days of that was Warzone, okay? I mean, I played an unhealthy amount of COD multiplayer. So, thousands of games. Let's say I played 2,100 matches. I lost a solid 1,700. I did not care about winning. I did not. I was in for the camo grind, Damascus was the big thing. But, like I said, or no, I didn't say. Warzone's a little different. I tried every match. I was very competitive. Battle Royale is a little different because you don't respond, just like Search and Destroy, a little more competitive just because there's no respawn. You don't want to die. You want to there's a certain amount of people watching you. You got to prove yourself. But honestly, I'm tired of having to be competitive every match. So is the community. Honestly, just the competitiveness of the matches, it's pulled me away. It's kind of drawn me away from COD this year. It has. That's why you don't see much COD content. I had a blast on MW2. I had a blast. I did. And I don't know. This year, it feels more mentally draining than ever. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but I felt like the beta of MW3 was one of the most mentally draining things I've ever played in gaming history. I just wasn't there. I wasn't enjoying it. And I still barely enjoy it. I mean, Rick Grimes is coming. I might come back for that. Rick Grimes. I've never missed a single COD. I've always got a decent level. I'm only like level 30 on there. I've never missed a COD. I always prestige 3 times or more on every single COD I've played. Not this one. I don't see it happening. It might. I don't know what they would need to change in order for me to just come back and enjoy it. Maybe I'm off of a COD grind. I don't know. But I don't think there's much they can do to change for me to come back and thoroughly enjoy COD like I used to. But of course, this the competitiveness, it's just made me lose interest and stuff. I mean, okay, a good example of the increase of competitiveness level is the Fortnite no build mode. It's a good example of increase of competitiveness. The skill, the average skill base for a player, how much it's changed. A good example of that is not Fortnite no build mode, because honestly, without this Fortnite no build mode, Fortnite would be sitting a pretty 200,000 players less every day, because that's about how much they have every day. I'm on Fortnite kind of often, but Power World mostly. So here's the thing: normal, casual matches or whatever, they're a thing of the past. Nobody slacks off. Everybody stacks and everybody tries. So that leaves us here with the average player freaking, I don't know, being better than Dagon Scump in his freaking Black Ops 2 prime. I don't know when his prime was, but that's what came to mind. And to end it off here, I just kind of skipped over this. I just had a big thing to say, but here it is. Does spending money on Call of Duty content, such as bundles, Battle Pass, or Black Sale, change how players are matched? It's a good thing they don't out these players. Because let's be honest, if you have to ask if matchmaking is affected by purchasing bundles, oh God, you're definitely just so down bad that you got to find any excuse you can to find how trash you are at the game. Like, sorry to whoever asked that, I guess. That's true. Okay, why are we asking that? Activision here is they're sitting here roasting us, man. They're sitting here saying we are bad at their games. Well, you just get better. Get better is all they got to say. They want us to play our game. They want us to play their game a little more. It's not happening. Absolutely not. I've been having fun on Power World. That's going to get taken down too. Who knows? I'm a little lightheaded. I have talked my head off. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Subscribe if you would like. And like I said, this is going to sound weird. You're going to be able to tell exactly what I'm talking from as soon as you hear it. That's all I'm doing for today. I don't know if this computer picked up background noises or not. You might hear cars. You might have heard ice machines. I don't know what you heard. I actually don't know what you heard. So, see you later. I'll be on with something new tomorrow. Not new, probably Power World. But who knows? It might be. Could be something just like I haven't played in a while. Who knows? Maybe I will play COD. Probably not.